Welcome once again. Today it's an exceptional day, not only because of the heat outside in Brussels, but mainly because what's going on here inside. We have just finished the second intergovernmental conference with Albania. I would like to welcome Foreign Minister Jan Lipavský, who chairs the conference on behalf of the Czech presidency, Edi Rama, Prime Minister of Albania, and last but not least, Olivér VÁRHELYI, EU Commissioner for Enlargement. First, I would like to give the floor to Jan Lipavský, and then to the other speakers on the stage. Then we will have some time for your questions.
So, good afternoon. I'm delighted that the first intergovernmental conference for the accession of Albania to the EU took place today. This marks the opening of the EU accession negotiations with Albania, and I'm pleased that North Macedonia has been able to start the EU accession process today as well. We've reached a milestone in the evolution of our relationship and demonstrated clearly that EU's unequivocal support to the European perspective of the Western Balkans. The future of the Western Balkans is in the European Union. Albania has stood firmly by its neighbour in time of need, and I am very pleased that today the waiting is over for both of you. I am also personally glad that this historic moment is taking place during the Czech presidency of the Council. Enlargement and the EU integration of the Western Balkans region into the EU have long been a priority for the Czech Republic. The opening of the accession negotiation comes at a time where the strength of our relations is more important than ever, after the show of solidarity and mutual support from both the Western Balkan partners and the EU during the COVID-19 crisis. Russia's unjustified and unprovoked military aggression against Ukraine is having a significant impact on the entire European continent. The countries of the Western Balkans are expected to commit to European values as future EU member states. We greatly welcome Albania's full alignment with the all-EU common foreign and security policy, decisions and declarations, and encourage Albania to continue to fully align with the EU common foreign and security policy. Albania is a candidate country since 2014 and a close partner of the European Union as a part of the stabilisation and association process. We welcome Albania's determination to advance on the EU reform agenda and expect continued political commitments to carry out necessary reforms thoroughly and vigorously. The EU is ready to support Albania on its way to becoming a fully fledged member of the European Union and in fulfilling the conditions of the accession process. The negotiation will take place on the basis of a general negotiation framework which presented by the European Union delegation today. Albania will first and foremost need to fully embrace and implement reforms in the fundamental areas of rule of law, in particular judicial reform and the fight against corruption and organised crime, fundamental rights, the strengthening of democratic institutions and public administration reform, as well as economic criteria. Personally, I wish all the best during negotiation, and thank you very much, and I am very happy that this is happening.
Thank you, Minister. Prime Minister, now the floor is yours.
If you may, I would like to talk in Albanian. Thank you. Përshëndetje dhe sot kjo është hera e 4, mos gabohem që më duhet marr fjalën, kështu që nuk dua të zgjatem. Falenderoj nga zemra gjithë përfaqësuesit e medias që kanë ardhur nga Shqipëria, po dhe këdo qoftë që ka qëndruar këtu për ta ndjerur të konferencë shtypi historike dhe po po ja kaloj fjalën komisionerit në mënyrë që të kemi mundësi pastaj të përgjigjemi pyetjeve.
I'm delighted and proud to be here today to celebrate the historic decision for the citizens of Albania. Today marks the beginning of a new and crucial phase in our relationship. I'm glad that we have launched accession negotiations with Albania following the decision of the European Council back in 2020. And I want to thank the Czech presidency and before them the French, the Slovenian, Portuguese presidencies for all the efforts they have been putting to this to happen. I also appreciate the strong engagement of all EU member states throughout the process, helping us to get here today. Because today's historic decision sends a very powerful signal to the Western Balkan region and beyond. It confirms the importance of the European Union's enlargement policy, which is more relevant than ever in the present geopolitical context. 8 years after the candidate status, and 4 years after our first recommendation to open accession negotiations, today marks the beginning of a new journey. My message to the citizens of Albania is very simple. We want you in the EU family. There is no doubt about that. Today's meeting sends a strong political signal of the EU's commitment to the EU accession process as such, and specifically to Albania. For the first time, we applied the revised methodology in its entirety. From now on, we will inject in the negotiations with Albania more credibility, predictability, dynamism, and a stronger political steer. In this journey to EU membership, Albania can count on the Commission's support, of course, and our role is to make sure that Albania will be well prepared to join the European Union. Be it the rule of law, fundamental rights, socio-economic policies, and so on. We will continue to do all we can to speed up the pace of the accession negotiations for Albania. No later than this afternoon, we will launch already the screening of the EU acquis, which is the first step in the accession negotiations. This will benefit from the robust preparatory work already undertaken with the administration of Albania, and it will allow identifying all major issues to be addressed during the negotiations, as well as areas where preparations need to be intensified. I'm confident that Albania is determined to join the European Union and to work hard for it, as it has been doing already, and as it has been doing also after the decision of 2020 to create the opportunity to open accession negotiations. Of course, we need wide national consensus to prevail, to make it happen, because on this path we need all in Albania to help us to make it happen and to make these negotiations not only inclusive but also conclusive. Because negotiations are of a transformative nature. These negotiations will affect every day the lives of the citizens. This will have major impact, positive impact on the society, the economy, and it will bring benefits immediately to the citizens. So we need everybody to be part of it, and we need everybody to work for it. So the road for Albania to become a member has already started. And we are ready to work as fast as we can to make it happen as fast as we can. Thank you.
Now we have time for your questions. I invite you to use the microphones. Yes, please.
Elia Zot ka televizioni Klan, nuk e di nëse kjo është e hapur. Okej. Zoti Rama, në afro 20 vite që unë ndjek karrierën tuaj politike si gazetare, është hera e parë që e mbyllni me vetëm një fjali këtë dalje, edhe pse keni pasur dalje tjera gjatë ditës. Krejt e kundërta asaj që ndodhi një muaj më parë po në këtë sallë, që folët pafund. Është se e keni të vështirë të falenderoni, apo edhe më të lehtë për të kritikuar, apo ka një arsye tjetër dhe një pyetje tjetër. Ju keni thënë her pas here që kur të fillojnë negociatat dhe të hapen kapitujt, ndër të parat që do të hapen dhe do të diskutohet është kapitulli për drejtësinë, dhe nga BE do të vijë një kërkesë e qartë për të pasur rezultate për ish prokurorët dhe ish gjyqtarët e dalë nga sistemi, nga vettingu, për të shkuar deri në fund dënimit tyre, jo thjesht spastërimit të radhëve të drejtësisë nga të korruptuarit, por edhe dënimit tyre. Është diskutuar kjo? Në fakt kjo është një pyetje edhe për komisionerin. Do ta kërkoj Bashkimi Evropian të ketë hetime të thelluara për gjithë ata që ikën nga sistemi i drejtësisë për shkak se ishin të korruptuar, apo kërkesa tjera për më shumë rezultate nga SPAK-u, për më shumë zyrtar të korruptuar që shkojnë përpara drejtësisë? Faleminderit.
Po, shumë faleminderit. Spari, unë i bëra falenderimet që në mëngjes dhe vazhdojnë falenderimet edhe më pas, dhe këtu kishte mbetur vetëm falenderimi për ju, ndërkohë që e pashtuudhës që t'ju jap juve më shumë kohë. Pasi natyrisht kjo konferencë shtypje është një natyrë krejt tjetër nga konferenca shtypit që zhvilluam këtu disa javë më parë, dhe sot besoj që flet fakti që negociatat për antarësim janë çelur zyrtarisht dhe që puna me negociatat konkretisht fillon mbasdite. Kështu që çfarëdo fjalësh të thuhen sot nuk e balancojnë dot peshën e jashtëzakonshme që ka ky fakt në jetën politike, në jetën shoqërore, në jetën ekonomike të Shqipërisë në vijim. Për sa i përket pyetjes dytë, ju e dini që kërkesa për të hapur procese dhe për ndëshkuar gjykatës dhe prokuror, të cilët janë përjashtuar nga vettingu për pasuri marrëmendse të pajustifikuara, është një kërkesë e kahershme tani më e Bashkimit Evropian. Dhe është një kërkesë krejt e natyrshme e Bashkimit Evropian, që në këtë rast është në sinkron plot me kërkesën e natyrshme të gjithë popullit shqiptar që e mbështeti fuqimisht reformën në drejtësi, një nga momentet e rradha në historinë tonë të re, kur shqiptarët i kapërcyen kufit e partive dhe masivisht mbështetën reformën në drejtësi, duke mbështetur vettingun dhe duke kërkuar që përmes vettingut të shkohet në ndëshkim të gjithë atyre që sistemin tonë drejtësisë e kishin kthyer në një pazar të turpshëm ku e drejta shitej dhe blej. Kështu që unë besoj që tani më e kam mësuar si funksionon Bashkimi Evropian, si funksionon Komisioni Evropian, dhe se si çdo gjë e shkruar është pjesë e memorjes së komisionit, dhe çfarë thuhet sot nuk harrohet nesër, po çfarë thuhet se duhet bërë sot përsëritet nesër, përsëritet pas nesër, përsëritet për vite të tëra derisa të bëhet, sepse kështu funksionon ky proces. Dhe duhet ta mbyll me atë që tha komisioneri, sepse tha diçka jashtëzakonisht të rëndësishme. Negociatat për antarësim janë në vetvete një instrument transformimi i përditshëm. Arsyeja pse i kemi kërkuar me kaq ngulm, natyrisht ka të bëjë me objektivin për të shkuar në antarësim plot, por ka të bëjë njëkohësisht, e kam thënë vazhdimisht, me faktin që negociatat janë një transferim dije i pa zëvendësueshëm dhe që nuk e gjen dot në asnjë realitet tjetër të botës politike. Dhe për këtë arsye komisioneri e nënvizoi dhe duhet ta kemi të gjithë parasysh që çdo hap në negociata, duke nisur nga çdo kërkesë e negociatave, përbën një vlerë të shtuar dhe përbën një mundësi të re për të çuar përpara gjithë aspektet e jetës vendit.
May I answer?
I think
No, it's
Yes, sorry. Yes, of course.
There was a question addressed to me. Yes, according to the new methodology, the first cluster to be opened and the last one to be closed is the rule of law. So we will start the work with the rule of law area. And obviously, in that, the state of the judiciary is going to be discussed. And I can only confirm to you that we're not giving any discount on our well-known position, which means that should the vetting prove that there are criminal cases to be addressed, those criminal cases will have to be addressed.
Sorry, we can't hear you. Can you introduce yourself again and ask the question?
Sonil Frashi from Euronews Albania. Për kryeministrin Rama, në një ditë si kjo kur hapen negociatat për Shqipërinë, pyetja ime është, a nuk do të ishte pak më mirë që në konferencën ndërqeveritare të ishte dhe një përfaqësi e opozitës, duke qenë se kryesojnë dhe Komisionin e Integrimit. And the question for both of you, Commissioner VÁRHELYI and Prime Minister Rama, we've seen cases like Turkey, which has 17 years that awaits for the membership and has hope on the negotiations, and the other case like Montenegro, which has more than 10 years. What is your time prediction for Albania to be full member of European Union, given the actual state of European Union?
Me një format përcaktuar nga Komisioni për gjithë trupën që do të përfaqësonte Shqipërinë në tryezë. Natyrisht që mund të kishim kërkuar një ndryshim për të ftuar një përfaqësues apo dhe më shumë se një nga ana e opozitës, por kemi një problem që nuk është një problem i Brukselit dhe nuk është një problem për të trajtuar në Bruksel, që ne nuk dim se kush është kush në anën e opozitës.
Time prediction, this is, again, the usual chewing gum of accession journalism, to be frank, but I don't want to be offensive. There is only one question, I think, that makes sense in that regard, and that is that whenever Albania is going to be ready, and whenever we see that we can move faster, we will move faster. And the Commission will not shy away making proposals as fast as we can to make it happen as fast as we can.
Let's go to Brussels press corps as well. Thomas.
Thomas Miglierina, Radio Televisione Svizzera, per Prime Minister Edi Rama in English. I've seen that. Well, you know, my Albanian is not as good as your Italian. I have seen that you and your party are calling for the invalidation of the Marti report. which has created, by the way, a court which is run by and financed by the European Union, because you, as I read, have found disturbing indications that he was manipulated by Russia. So could you give us details about this, and whether you think he was victim of manipulation or was willing manipulated, and anything you could give us on that? Faleminderit.
There is a difference between me and the gentleman that I don't raise accusations with no facts. So I never said he was manipulated by Russia. And I would never say it because I don't know if he was or not part of a Russian game. But I know that the very dirty story of organ traffics started from Russia, not from him, and from Russian spokesmen. So what I said and what I can say again is that looking to the indictment, there is nothing, zero fact or even allegation in the indictment on traffic of organs. And as you very well noted, this tribunal has been created based on this report. It was this report, full of nonsense, that has brought to the process of creating this special tribunal. And, by the way, investigations, after investigations have been made in Kosovo and in Albania, totally independent from any power influence, and brought out nothing, zero, not 0.1%, zero on human trafficking of organs. Now, what we seek is to tell the world that this was a masquerade. And this masquerade, through an incredible amount of mud on a whole country, free and independent states, Kosovo, and on a whole liberation war. It's not an accusation. It's just a fact. There is no proof of so many investigations that there was human trafficking of organs organized by the Kosovo Liberation Army leadership, who has been victim of an orchestrated assault worldwide. Now, you should not, and nobody should not try to spin it in a different way. This has nothing to do with the process that is going on and with the indictment and with the proofs or not proofs or whatever they might have there in Hague. This has to do with a page of shame of the Council of Europe. And the Council of Europe should find the courage to stand and to say, we are sorry. Because you cannot, and especially so highly reputed democratic institutions cannot become a place where horrible things that we experienced under Soviet or under Chinese Cultural Revolution period can happen and find a way. So, Nothing personal, nothing against the gentleman. I don't know him. I don't wish to know him. But this is just something that should be called out with the name it has. Until, of course, the slightest proof of the contrary. Because it's unacceptable to see a whole nation that was freed and was liberated by such a great effort of a coalition of democratic states. And thanks also to a liberation army against ethnic cleansing machine of Slobodan Milosevic, to be thrown like this in the deepest level of the international media garbage. This is not possible. And it's not about the media, it's about the report. And it's not about a report, it's about a report that had the backing of a whole Council of Europe. This should not stand. Albania is too small to change the destiny of any decision-making in the highest level, but Albania will never ever surrender to the idea that because we are small, we can be treated like this. This will not pass. Thank you.
Minister, Commissioner, would you like to add something? So this was the last question and last words. We thank you very much for your attention, and we wish you a great afternoon.